Hey guys, what is going on? LegoMan123, and today in this video I'll be sharing my thoughts and opinions on the LEGO City set images for 2021. So without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off, we have the road plate, and these do glow in the dark because of the really cool, almost like solar powered lights, like street lamps. So I think that is really cool, and I'm really glad we're finally getting updated versions for like roads for cities, because instead of just getting like updated versions for the 32 by 32 plates with like the road markings on them, we're finally getting almost like some sort of like brick built version for the roads. I'm really glad included is like a sign for the speed you can go, the crossing traffic lights, and then the solar powered street lamps, including some really nice sort of plants included as well. So I'm really glad we're finally getting an updated version for the road plates, and honestly, they look really awesome. I love the overall design for them, and they definitely seem really easy to include in a city, because like with like this ramp piece, you could possibly maybe just like build onto that. You can add like more and more road plates, and then once you're happy with it, you could just add them at the end. So that is definitely really cool, and I can definitely see me adding this into my city. Next up, we have a Lego City set, and included is Duke the Tan, Clara the Criminal, I believe that's how you pronounce her name, and then Snake Rattle. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. This is an okay set. The vehicle does seem a little small because, like, there's two criminals included, but like there seems to be room for only one criminal, which is definitely really strange because it does seem to be some sort of like break, like prison break, like with the person with the car, or minifig with the car is breaking out the minifig in like the jail cell. But like once the criminal does get captured, like what are they gonna do if I let it go? Because there really doesn't seem like there's that much room for two minifigs to fit. So I kind of wish they maybe made the vehicle a little more bigger, because the front of it definitely does look really cool. I love the shaping for it. The windows included are really awesome, and then like the yellow trim down the bottom is great, but just make like the back part a little bigger. The minifig selection is okay, but honestly, I just really want a different police officer instead of just getting Duke the Tan all the time. Like, they could possibly maybe add a different police officer. And then the vehicle for like the sort of getaway car is an okay build. I just wish it was a little more bigger, because it does seem really small. And like you're trying to get a sort of jail cell off like a truck, like, or like a vehicle, you could possibly maybe up like the car for this, because it does seem a little small and just out of proportion. Next, we have a Firefighter set, or just like a sort of Lego City fire set. So this is really cool because we're getting updated pieces for fire, which we haven't seen for a really long time. Because usually with these fire sets, we get like the fire pieces, like we get big ones, small ones, just depending on like how big the fire is. But now with these really awesome just fire pieces, I love the shaping of them, and you can possibly stack them up as high as you want, just on the shaping of them, which is definitely cool. And like they seem to be really simple, just like to knock over, so like you could sort of shoot a stud at it and it would fall over, which is really cool. The build for like this, some sort of like satellite dish maybe, or like sort of command base for a satellite, is really interesting. I do love the build down the bottom here. Very simple, but also really effective. The minifig selection is really cool. The helicopter with the play feature with like some sort of like flick missile, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I do love the molding for like the water. But I kind of wish they maybe built in something a little more. Like a while back, they made this Lego City set with like sort of trapdoors, or like if you open it up, which I think it was like a pin. If you pull the pin, like water will drop down. So they could have possibly done that, maybe like at the bottom of it. But apart from that, I love the overall design for the helicopter. Really slick design with like the propeller and all that. And then the inclusion of the motorbike is really cool as well. Next up, we have another city set for the Firefighters. This seems to be some sort of like extension or like inclusion as well for the previous set, because there seems to be a parallel with like the design for this inclusion or like small build as well as this build here, because they seem to have some really interesting detailing which do sort of compare to one another. So I'm really glad we're just getting like more stuff added to the story. Like, that's really cool. And then inclusions of like the new fire pieces, and then there seems to be a build for like some sort of like I'm really not sure, like some sort of crystal maybe, or something to do with like if you keep it in like this sort of container or something. It's really hard to just explain it. The build for like this buggy here is definitely really cool. I love the sort of cannon or like the sort of flick missile included on it. But like, I'm curious to see if you like flick it, could you like flip the vehicle over, because it's such a light build. And then the inclusion of like this mobile fire truck is definitely really cool. I love all the inclusions included, and I'm really glad they did include like a trailer part for the little buggy instead of just having it like as a side build. Like, they're not going to add anything to the fire truck to actually sort of transport it. So I'm really glad they actually do have that, and it actually does seem to be remotely controlled, which is definitely really cool. I do love the new helmet pieces. They do seem to be new, I'm pretty sure, so that's really cool. And then like this sort of crate does seem to like go in like this sort of part here. This part down here is really interesting how it sort of like overlaps the wheels. The front of the truck has a nice design, and I'm really glad they did include this. So like the minifigs down here have the new helmet piece, but then like the minifig up here, they have to be new. They definitely do look new. So that's really strange how like two of the minifigs have a new helmet piece, but then like this minifig up here doesn't. Then we have a Lego camper set, and there's actually a theory behind this. So I have seen a lot of posts on this on like YouTube and then also Instagram. So the story is that when a Lego camper set actually came out, I believe 2 years ago, or I'm pretty sure it was a year ago, we actually had a baby very similar to the one down here, and that was actually this minifig here as a baby. And then he grew up to be a young child, and that was in another camper set, and then now he's got a family of his own. So I just love how simple that idea is. It honestly may not even be true. Lego just might have accidentally used the same torso twice, but I think it's just a really cool idea. And then, like, with the two camper sets, what did come out, they actually used the same, like, two minifigs as the parents. So I don't think that's a coincidence. So that's really awesome. Just a very simple idea, but just really awesome to think about. The baby with, like, the baby carrier is really cool. The inclusions of, like, these items are very simple but effective. And then the build for the Caravan really does remind me of the one from, like 2010, maybe, no, like 2014 or 15, with like the same shape, for very similar design as well. The blue stripe just looks really out of place. I do like the inclusion of it. It definitely does add some color to it. And like this sort of stripe down the bottom here with the bricks also does add some color to it, but it does seem like a little out of whack. And then like some sleeping quarters, I believe, from like the back of the box. Like, you could put minifigs up here if you take off like the canopy piece, I believe that's what it's called. And then inside, it's very hard to see, but it definitely does remind me of the 2014 or 15 Caravan. So I might possibly pick this one up and do like some sort of comparison. And then also included is just like a very simple seating area and like this sort of very simple bench setup. So that's really cool. Next we have, I was about to say Speed Champions, because like it definitely did remind me of a Lego Speed Champion set, but this is a Lego City set. The idea for this is definitely interesting. Some sort of like Speed Champion inspired car in a Lego City set. I do love the overall design for it. I love the like sort of a slick design with like the shaping of it, and then like the texturing of it is also really cool. I love how it sort of translates from being like down here like the bottom, and then sort of translates over there. So I really love the sort of like slopiness of it. The coloring is okay. I do really love that blue, but then like the translucent blue, it definitely sort of does seem a little strange just having that with like the orange, because like it does it does look normal at the back with like the orange, but then at the front it just looks, I'm really not sure, it just looks unfinished, but like I'm not sure what they could have done to just like fix that up. The bumper part definitely does look cool as well, and then I believe that's white, but it's really hard to tell. It sort of looks like a creamish white color, but I'm not too sure. But overall, really nice car with a interesting minifig. Then we have a Lego tractor set, and I think this is really awesome because when I like first saw like farming sets for Lego City, I was really not interested in Lego, or I wasn't really interested in Lego City sets, and I really do regret like not picking up those sets because they definitely had some really awesome sets. So I'm really glad we're getting like updated version for the tractor. I love the overall design for it, with like the front design, with like the, I was about to say digger for some reason, but like the sort of tractor part of it, with like the sort of gears of it, and like the sort of moving parts of it. And then the red is such an awesome color. The sort of part where you can actually put a minifig is definitely really cool. And I love how instead of just having like a window piece there, just like a window piece or like a car piece, they've actually got these really nice pieces. And I'm really glad they did include that. But my favorite part would probably be the inclusion of like carrots and then pumpkins, because I've honestly been collecting Lego for quite a while, and I have like no carrots or pumpkins in my collection. I have quite a lot of apples, but I've like never gotten carrots or pumpkins, which is definitely really strange. So I might possibly pick this setup, and I do love the inclusion of that bunny. The minifigs is also really awesome, but I really wish we got a different version for like the farmer outfit. Maybe change up like the overalls with like maybe blue or something. Just instead of just getting like the same overalls over and over again. And then the hay inclusion with like just a very simple design is also really cool. Next we have this really interesting but very cool idea about some sort of turning action. I'm actually excited to see how that would work. So would you need like specific pieces to actually have that sort of turning action, or is it just the design for it? Because I'm pretty sure their wheels have a sort of new part where you do connect the wheels, and that's like the sort of spinning feature. So I love the design for like this buggy here with like the really nice pinkish purple color. And when I first looked at this, I honestly had to look at this really closely. I thought these were eyes for a second. It was just really creepy, but it kind of looks like Ninjago maybe, or like some sort of logo for like a sporting team in like the Lego world. Some more stickers here for like sporting. So I really love the buggy. And then the build for like the sort of not caravan, what was I thinking? Like this car is really cool. I love the green. The shaping of it is really interesting. The bumper design is okay, but I don't think these sort of pieces work as well as like that really nice bumper piece. It just looks really strange. The back of it has a nice design to it. And then the trailer it's okay. I don't think they should have included it, because this would have been a really awesome set with just like the sort of car and the buggy. I think the trailer is just like an add-on, but I can see why they added it, because like without the trailer then you can't like transport the buggy to just places and all that. And then the minifig selection is actually really awesome. I don't think I've seen that torso before in sets. It might be in like expensive sets, but like not in cheap sets like this. And then I believe that's like the Finn hair, and then also the Dean Thomas hair from Harry Potter. And it's really cool to see in a black coloring. And then the torso definitely does look really awesome as well. So I might possibly pick the set up. Next we have like some sort of like jet flying show. It's an okay set. I think the trailer does seem a little big, and honestly, from the box, I thought the truck would be a little bigger, but just the picture seems so small for some reason. It just looks out of proportion and everything. Like, the jet seems a lot more bigger than the truck with like the picture here, so that's really strange. But the minifig selection is really cool. I definitely do like that minifig down here. The design for like the plane or like jet has a really nice design to it. I definitely do love the sticker or print on it. The orange coloring, the white inclusion for like the wings, and then the truck definitely does have an interesting design to it. and then the transport sticker, I feel like I've seen before in like past Lego City sets. I do like the black and sort of red, and also like the sort of dark, like light grey design for the truck is also really cool, but it just seems out of proportion compared to the jet. Possibly they could have added some sort of like setup for like tools for the jet, but we have actually gotten. Oh, they actually have, but like where is it? I'm trying to search for. Oh, it's at the back here. That's pretty hidden. That's pretty cool. So I kind of wish we maybe got like just something more for this set for like the jet. So possibly maybe some sort of merch. Maybe that might be too much. It's just something more to the set for like the jet. We did get some tools, but I wish we just got something more. Then we have another Lego City set which has a road plate included, and I'm so glad we're just getting updated versions for the road, because it seems to be really easy just to grab all the parts from this skate sort of a setup and just like add them somewhere else and then use the road plate, because this whole setup definitely does look really awesome. I believe this would possibly, I'm pretty sure like Just Too Good said like $39 or something. It's a little overpriced in my opinion, but I think it's okay. The vehicle, I believe we have seen before. I definitely do love the logo Vito Rush. That seems to be some sort of like sponsor. The minifig selection is pretty awesome. I really love like this graffiti. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. And like this tree is really nice inclusion, just more sort of sponsored. The wheelchair piece in that coloring is so awesome. And then the motorbike piece, and then like this minifig down here is really cool. Next up, for Lego City, we have another road plate inclusion, and I honestly love the design for this really cool modern design for a house. I love all the design for it, with like the simple design for like the 1x4 tiles, for like the wood. The landscaping is really nice and beautiful. The electric car is also really interesting. I believe that might be an electric car because it does have some sort. Oh, that's like a dog wash thing, so that's really cool. And then like the poop inclusion is definitely interesting, but also pretty funny. And like this sort of like picnic area for the house is great. The sort of hockey design is really cool. Great how we're getting that Ninjago torso. The inside detailing definitely does seem really cool as well, but I wish we got some more images for that. But I believe like in the sort of bottom part here, that might be some sort of like gaming lounge room area, so that's really cool. The overall design for it is definitely really great. And then getting the hidden side hair in a different color, I believe, and also a different set is great. And then that Labrador piece or mold is definitely really awesome. And this is like the big one. So I really love everything included in this set, including like everything happening, because it definitely does remind me of like an actual city, which is like everything going on and like just people having like fun and enjoying themselves. So the pizza and like dojo area is definitely really cool. I do love the inclusion of like the sort of dojo helmet, and then like the part up the top is also really awesome, with like the very simple build for a tree, I believe, or just like a vine with just cherries on it. And then the micro figures for like the top part of the roof is really cool. The dojo sticker or print is great. The city pizza design is also really interesting, but I just wish they built more onto it, because it's such a really awesome idea as a dojo and a city pizza shop. I just wish they did include more for it. And then there seems to be some sort of like fire happening, and then we just have like this very simple build for like a sort of seating area with like a baby on. I honestly love the design for some sort of like butterfly, maybe, I'm not really too sure on what that is. And then I do love like the sort of almost the footpath it does create on like the road as a pedestrian crossing. The dog, I believe that might be the Labrador mold in just a brand. The motorbike, and I believe that's a police officer. The vehicle here is really cool, and I think that is like some sort of electric car charge, I'm not too sure. The car wash powered by Octane, I think, is really cool. I love the design for it. Very simple, just some simple pieces, but also really effective. But I wish they maybe made just a little bigger, just include something else, because usually with car washes they do have just different phases for it, so I just wish they maybe included something else. And then the vehicle included over here seems to be some sort of like recycling bin. So that's really cool how they did include that to like sort of encourage recycling and all that. So that is definitely really cool. The orange color does remind me of like a tow truck set quite a while ago, so that's really cool. The bin design is also really cool. So, hope you guys did enjoy this thoughts video as much as I did making it, because I really did enjoy sharing my thoughts and opinions on the LEGO City set images for 2021. So I'm definitely excited for some of these LEGO City sets because I just really love the design for them, and then just the overall detailing for the sets are definitely really cool. So I would definitely love to hear what you have to say down in the comments below, your thoughts and opinions, and as always guys, hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I can say so. Goodbye.